Atlantis rising in the water bearer era, part two. So let me just go ahead and get into this. The first nation to vanish completely will be the smallest island state, Barbados, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, gone in 1 hour, swallowed whole. There will be no safe harbor, no mountain to climb. Their people will scatter in every direction, flooding neighbors' islands already struggling to survive. The Caribbean Sea will not care about history, culture, or sovereignty. It will erase what it chooses without warning. Haiti will split into two realities. The Western Mountain will survive, becoming a refuge for those who can reach them. The lowland, including most of Port-au-Prince, will be drowned. The fault line under Hispaniola will tear. Rising jig wedges of new land offshore will swallow coastal plain. Haiti's survival will depend on immediate adaptation. Those who hesitate will be lost to the wave. Dominican Republic will lose most of its southern coastline. Santo Domingo will be erased from the map. Inland cities will become coastal cities overnight. The rising land to the east will link Puerto Rico through newly formed land bridges. Trade and migration will shift along these new routes, but constant seismic activity will make them dangerous to cross. Puerto Rico will change shape entirely. New mountains will rise in its northern waters, expanding island landmass. These new lands will be unstable but rich in minerals. They will draw attention from global powers who will attempt to claim them. The fight over Puerto Rico expanded territory will be fierce as the island becomes strategic center in the new Caribbean. The Bahamas will explode in size. The entire underwater plateau will rise to the surface, turning the chain of islands into a continent scale landmass. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people fighting over Puerto Rico. Lots of people will be fighting over Puerto Rico. Okay. And a lot of people will be fighting over the Bahamas too. Well, you could say pretty much the Caribbean. Um, into a continental scale landmass. Ancient stone structure will emerge, proven beyond question that Atlantis had colonized here. The sudden abundance of habitable lands will make Bahamas one of the most fought over region in the world, attracting armies, opportunists, and survivors from every continent. Cuba will transform into a super rich island. New ridge will rise from its southern eastern coast, doubling its size. Its center mountain will become the safest and most suitable, stable highland in the Caribbean. Um, most stable highlands in the Caribbean. Cuba will quickly become a hub of power, controlling access to much of the region's new geography, but its stability will make it a target for invasion by desperate nations. Jamaica will expand dramatically to the north and west. The newly raised territory will be fertile, resource rich, but also volcanic. Frequent eruption will force settlers to move repeatedly. The Jamaican people will adapt fast than most, becoming skilled at mobile survival resource management. Their their adaptability will make them leaders in the post-Atlantic Caribbean. The Cayman Trench will rupture, pushing up vast ridges that will connect parts of Cuba to Central America. The new lands will cut shipping lane, forcing trade through narrow, dangerous channels. Whoever controls these choke points will control what remains of the global shipping in the region. Piracy will return, but this time on a scale larger than in any history book. Central America will face devastation. Belize will be shattered by the rising and sinking of the seafloor. Guatemala coast will be erased. Parts of Honduras will rise into jigsaw cliff. Nicaragua will again Nicaragua will gain new volcanic island off its coast, but lose much of its existing shoreline. The region will be carved into unpredictable shape, making governance nearly impossible. Impossible. South America Cuban coastline will shift so dramatically that maps will be useless. Venezuela oil-rich coast will be drowned, and its inland plain will flood. Colombia coastal city will vanish, replaced by newer exposed mountain ridge offshore. These ridge will rival ancient settlement, forcing historians to confront the reality of civilization older than anything recorded in the Americas. The Yucatan Peninsula will crack and sink in parts, but other sections will rise into steep plateaus. Cancun and the surrounding resorts will be gone. In their place will be rocky highlands, unimaginable. No, rocky highlands, uninhabitable for years. The disappearance of tourism economy will send shockwaves through Mexico, forcing the country to redirect its survival strategy toward inland development. Florida Keys will vanish completely. South Florida will be reduced to scattered island. Miami will be underwater. The rising Caribbean islands will shift ocean current, making the southeastern United States more vulnerable to storms, flood than ever before. The migration out of Florida will be massive, overwhelming inland states. New lands will emerge between Bermuda and the Bahamas. These will be among the most stable of the risen territory, making them prime settlement zone. But they will also hold deep ruins connected to the Atlantean core. Whoever controls these lands will control some of the greatest archaeological discovery in history and the power they might contain. The mid-Atlantic ridge will push up fragments of land thousands of miles from the Caribbean. The distant island will be uninhabitable at first, but they will prove that the geological shift is not confirmed to the Caribbean basin. The earth will be rearranged. The earth will be rearranged itself on global scale, with the Caribbean as the epic center. Small island nation in the Pacific will watch the Caribbean disaster unfold as a warning, but they will not escape. The same force will eventually reach them, altering their coastline, drowning entire uh, uh, archipelago. The rise of Atlantis will make start of global area of land shift, not an isolated event. Panama Canal will be buried and replaced by a natural waterway through newly risen Caribbean lands. This shift will completely rewrite global shipping routes. Nations dependent on the canal will scramble to secure new trade agreement, while others will attempt to seize control of the replacement route. The fight over this channel will be bloody. Dominica, St. Lucia, and Grenada will gain new lands but lose much of their old ones to volcano destruction. The survivors will move to higher, unstable ground facing constant threat from eruption and mudslide. These islands will become known as the training ground for survivalists, where only the strongest and most adept can last. Trinidad and Tobago will fuse with newly risen land to the southern, connect them to South America continent. So where you see Trinidad and Tobago, they will fuse. There's something, just there's a little island, something's gonna fuse them, and then that little is off the coast. It's gonna be another island like a gist, but it's gonna connect them. So they're gonna be part of the South American continent, which they, you could tell that that was just mirror where they were sitting at. This was make them strategically valuable, but also a flashpoint for conflict between the Caribbean powers and South American nation desperate for a foothold in the new order. The deeper Atlantic water to the east of the Caribbean will give rise to a massive new island, some larger than modern nation. These islands will be true hearts of the Atlantis, containing the highest concentration of ancient ruined energy system. They will be the most fought over territory in the world. Join armies, scientists, treasure hunting, in a race to control them. By the time the full shift is over, the Caribbean will be unrecognizable. It will no longer be a region of scattered islands, but a vast, interconnected landmass broken by volcano peaks and ancient ruin. The, the nations that once existed here will be gone, replaced by survival based territory. Atlantis will not just rise, it will dominate, forcing the world to acknowledge that history has restarted. So, so that's pretty much the breakdown. That's part two of Atlantis rising and the water bearer era. The water bearer era, part two. That's pretty much part two. Pretty much the breakdown. I pretty much had to chop this down to like four parts because I could actually do it all in one sitting because I had did a part two of the Prince of Brutality series I was doing, and that one really drained me. That one I was going for like 50 something minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start chopping things up because I can sit here even though I have water and stuff like that that I can drink and stuff like that. But I want to um have the same energy whenever I say each name of the terrains. I don't want to sound like I lost energy when I say this place and when I say that place. I want to have the same energy across the board, whether whatever it is, because this is like stuff I've researched, I've done a lot of digging in, and this is like based on prophecy of what it's going to look like. And it's not just prophecy, it's something that will happen. It happens every 12,000 years. People, I am so happy. I hope a lot of us will not see it, but I'm hope I am one of the few, me and my two beautiful kids, that we're one of the few that get to see this event that happen every 12,000 years, you know, because the world that we know will not look the same. Um, it just will not look the same, and the passengers that are coming down, people need to take that into consideration. Whatever it's going to look, I just know the Caribbean is going to look vastly different. um there's going to be big landmass all over the place. Some of that place is going to look like, some of the areas in the Caribbean is going to look like peninsulas, okay? not peninsula. We have a few areas from what based on mapping and also based on what they call simulation. We have a few areas that we know that's going to be like a continent, man. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be exciting. I'm so happy it's happened. It's wonderful. So we have to see. We know that if you think they're fighting right now, when that's where everything that's up and up is going to be coming from, then you could bet your bottom dollar that the Caribbean people better hold on tight. They're going to be some real fighting now, you know. So to whom so much is given, to whom so much will be given, which is the Caribbean people, to whom so much will be given to. I hope that wisdom is put. It becomes the compass. I really hope so, and I hope it's that outsiders don't come and take it from you guys, and then you guys just sit there just like beggars in the land. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I doubt it's. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. I don't think, because when this stuff is happening, there's going to be a lot of pathogens that's going to release. People are going to think that it's bioweapons, but it's not so much bioweapon. These pathogens will be coming up with Atlantis. Like right now, with all of the shaking, all the rumbles that's going on. Like, for example, a lot of people have been getting downloads far as tsunamis. Yes, you're getting downloads because we are in the era of truth. It's about conscience, it's about justice, it's about purification. So yes, you are getting downloads. You know what? This is the best time if someone do something to you, just like whatever. Just let it go and let 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 the energy, the frequency that we live in, let it deal with it. Just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna move on. It is what it is. Um so what I want to do here, I want to thank everybody for listening to me. This is part two. I did chop this up into many parts, people. I had to. I couldn't just sit here and just do it in one go, because people, I literally have over, if I were to sit here and do this in one go, I literally have like 30 pages. I would be here forever. So I had to be really wise with my time, and also really wise with your time. I know you guys want to hear that, but I'm treating my audience the way I like to be treated. I don't like things long winded. So I decided that I don't want to make it too long winded for my audience. So the same attention span that I have, you will see that most of my videos, I like them like 10 minutes. I may go like to 20, 30 minutes. In a blue moon, I may do a 50-minute one, but 50 minutes, I don't really care for that, because that consists of me doing a lot of talking. And I do like subject, but I don't want to sit there and pour all that energy into 50, 60, or 1 or 2 hour into something, because that drains you, because it's like you're giving. And I love to give, but I want to make sure that I give you with the same energy. I don't want to start up high and then end up low with my energy. I want my energy to be sustained throughout whatever it is that I'm talking about, you know. So I don't like for my energy to dip, but I also understand that when I'm given information, that I have to make sure my energy is always constantly flowing, that you guys can get a sense of me, and you guys also see that you see the passion that I have for this, you know, because I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled. I mean, we got a long way to go. It's going to be very rocky. And like I said, a lot of people going to think it's biological weapons that are being released here on this planet. And I don't think it's biological weapon. What I think is that when as Atlantis rises, it's gonna feel like it, because there's gonna be a lot of death. Because what happened here, you have these landmass that have been sitting under, deep, 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 deep for almost 12,000 years, and it's coming back up. And then we have some of the known lands that's gonna go down, and some of the unknown lands that are gonna come up. And the unknown lands are gonna come up with pathogens and stuff like that, and viruses and stuff like that. So you can definitely expect a few nasty bugs to be released on the surface. And but whoever survived will have the immunity for it and stuff like that. So This is part two. Um, we will dig into that too. So what I want to do here, I want to thank you so much for listening to me, Manushka, Jessica, the host of Luca T Podcast. Believe me, I do appreciate your time. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for tuning in to my channel. And I also want to thank everyone that have subscribed and all those that will subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you a bunch for tuning into Luco T Podcast. Please like, subscribe, definitely leave a comment. I like to read your comments. Bye.